We open on Goku in a surprisingly foppish.
He was like a safari man with an ascot.
Yes.
And hat.
He's dressed very nicely.
He looks like what Austin Powers would look like if he went on safari.
Except he is doing farm work.
He's driving a tractor.
Yeah, what is he farming? He pulls up that brown root, but we never really see what he's growing.
In the intro, he has turnips. So he's probably just doing turnips.
But it is barren. The field is barren. It's like a dust bowl
doing a
good
situation.
Could it be possible Goku is not good at subsistence farming? Out of the middle of nowhere.
Perhaps it's, in fact, foreshadowing what we will learn later, which is that Goku and Chi-Chi and the Sun family, is that how you'd call them? The Sun family are having some financial problems.
Right, because they were born into luxurious wealth on Chi-Chi's side, and then a terrible fire burnt it all.
Which is...
some dark stuff they gloss over in the show, because it would be too dark for an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
And that's, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, Ox King is a beloved character. I really want to know what happened to the king.
Yeah.
He's the king. I feel like he owned a franchise somewhere.
Also, I feel like Goku is very glib about the collapse of their family life.
Yeah. Like, it's always, I mean, it's a recurring joke among fans of the franchise, obviously, that Goku is a terrible parent, but I mean, it really feels like they've, like, supercharged it now.
Here's the thing about Goku, is he has a 10 out of 10 alpha body, and that's what he's bringing to the table in his marriage. And Chi-Chi knows that, and she's presented very unreasonably in the show, but she has to work with just, like, a Beavis and Butthead dumbass husband who goes out and destroys the fields he's supposed to be farming so he can train on his lunch break. And in the 4 minutes we see Goku farm in the show, he drives a tractor 10 feet, eats lunch, powers up to Super Saiyan, and destroys the ground for no reason. And while he's doing that, his son drives a tractor off a cliff.
Which, by the way, weird scene. Goten can fly. We all know
Goten can fly. There is no danger. Even if the tractor hit the ground, he'd be like, I bet you thought that hurt, ground, or whatever.
They're establishing very early my favorite trope in Dragon Ball, which is there are no stakes because no one can die.
Yeah, there are stakes, all right, but Goku's going to eat them all.
Oh.
Goku's going to eat all the stakes.
So, after...
Get off this podcast.
I talked too late to cancel.
Oh, Lord. So, after our near tractor crash, we cut, right?
Yeah, we,
it's into Trunks. Trunks is at home talking.
No, don't we go to Mr. Satan first?
Oh, we do. But before that, one interesting notable that I think we all made note of was Goku, before eating, sits down to pray.
Oh, right.
To who?
To people he knows personally.
Who he can contact with his psychic talk thing.
That makes it more likely that they'll help you out if you've saved their lives before.
And not only that, he as somebody who personally knows every god in the universe,
all the Kais,
and knows all the Kais, and as well as Kame, who also is kind of a god. He knows none of them provide the food. That's not what gods do in this universe.
None of them really seem like they understand him or like really appreciate the way he lives his life either. They're all just like, Jesus Christ.
I think it's
what is wrong with this monkey person?
When you're trying to like go to bed and your friends keep texting you and your phone keeps lighting up in the dark and you're just like, I love you, but goddamn.
Yeah. So after this farming scene, we cut to Mr. Satan addressing the press.
He's doing a press release.
Talking about how he saved the world.
How long has it been since he saved the world?
Only like a few months.
Like 6
they said
months?
at the beginning, a few months of peace.
Oh, okay. Everyone looks totally different for some reason.
They all look quite a bit older.
Except for the fact that even though this show is brand new, it is clearly 1994 forever in this universe. And you can tell by the sweet resort wear everyone wears.
Yeah.
Mr. Satan is rocking a fabulous, like, pink like power blazer a la Miami Vice with a ruffle shirt and pinstripe pants, and it's just slaying.
He looks like if Lupin the Third did like an away mission in Miami.
Yeah,
it's a Vice episode of Lupin
but it's
the
voiced by the Macho Man.
Kid Trunks looks like he's in Criss Cross.
Yeah, he's styling as fuck.
Oh, so
honestly,
cool.
And he has the attitude to match.
Oh man.
I mean, that we're gonna be spending some time on that because he is really he's like very juicy for someone so thin. But Dragon Ball universe is, I think, exactly the same as our universe if Tupac never died.
Great.
Everything else is
conspiracy done.
So Satan addresses the press.
And then, what's his face comes out.
By the way, real softball questions from the press. They're just like, how do you do it? Still, it's been months. We love it.
Oh, the press is truly garbage, right? What a terrible... They're not holding his feet to the fire at all. They're not presenting both sides of this story. No. What about Majin Buu's
no one
side
wants
of
to
things?
hear about Hercule's war crimes while this is happening. So, his money from the Sod family.
Trying desperately to move us on here.
Okay, so the press is there. Hercule's knocking it out of the park. And then who appears but Fat Boo?
Fat Boo, who
is Hercule's close friend after all these years.
Despite being an asshole.
He is throwing a temper tantrum.
A little tantrum. What a little baby.
He's ruining the press conference. The press turns on him. Satan turns it around, but barely.
What was the back and forth there? It was like, Boo was like, me hungry! And then they're like, oh, he's raising his voice to Hercule. He must have even more power than Hercule.
Yeah, that's right.
Where did you make that leap? Some fat idiot who's pink came out from the back room, was like, I'm hungry? And you were like, whoa!
A lot of tenet of Dragon Ball, I think, is like people, a lot of exposition and making jumps that make no sense, but you're like, all right, we're just going there.
Just gotta go there. Not one person is like, maybe this guy is retarded. I don't know. He doesn't understand who he's talking to.
Keep a slow adult child in his bag.
So after that, I believe we cut away.
And that scene has like no real, nothing happened in it that you need to understand for what happened later in the episode. They're just like, oh, by the way, Hercule is still cuckolded by Boo from the press constantly.
They do briefly mention the 100 million Zenny that we know about from the title.
Well, Hercule's he's like international Illuminati from the beginning. Like
he's
before
already
Dragon
super
Ball.
rich. We don't need to be reminded of that.
From his WWE exploits.
Oh my god, guys, we completely skipped over the introduction of what I'm going to assume is the villain of this series.
Oh, yeah.
We got so swept up in that Dragon Ball bullshit that we forgot there's a giant cat in space and he's hungry.
I think he might actually be, we don't know anything
He's
about him
foreshadowed
yet.
in this episode.
We briefly meet him, but he might already be my favorite Dragon Ball big bad.
Yeah, they don't try to make him seem evil at all, even though he's killed more people than all of the other villains, except maybe Frieza.
Yeah, like...
No, wait, no, because I already know too much about him is the problem.
You have these guys showing up. You have Vegeta showing up, and he wants the Dragon Balls for immortality, right? You go to Namek, and you've got Frieza wants Dragon Balls for immortality. Cell, I don't even remember what Cell wanted except to kill everything and everyone.
An android created to kill everybody.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have much time to do it.
Right. And then what was Boo after?
Boo was an ancient magical being who was sealed away, and then they unsealed him for the purposes of having him kill everybody. But this new guy is a god who's just the god of death.
Yes.
And he wants to eat.
That's what I was going to say.
There's no way you would know that from what happens in this episode, but that's what it is. So
I appreciate a villain whose motivations are relatable.
Yeah.
You know, I dig that he is... He like, we know his struggle.
Yeah, he just wants food, and he has no moral guidance at all.
Yeah. What a wonderful...
He's like, look, this world doesn't make any sense. There's dinosaurs, but they're people, and it's a democracy, and the whole world's Japan, and there's spaceships, but no one knows about them and is impressed every time someone goes to space. I just want to eat alien rainbow food.
Yeah, so he eats a lot of gelatin. He's displeased.
He doesn't. He likes the taste of it, but he doesn't like the consistency because it's purple gelatin in a martini glass.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then he blows up half the planet, and that's about it.
That was I will say he made a really sly comment where he's like, "Oh, I'll give you half or something," and I blow up half the planet, which obviously fucks the whole planet. I mean, that's just part of his trademark charm. We're gonna get to enjoy throughout this next arc of Dragon Ball.
So,
But that's all we
Planet
got from him.
101. You can't kill half the planet.
So we get Space Cat, who's hungry. We go to Mr. Satan, and then from there we got Trunks dropping some knowledge about the ladies.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yes. What a...
Not to get his own, but because Goten wants to respect his sister-in-law, and he says, if you want to give these ladies what they want, you got to drop the rock.
Which is insane. I mean, he's telling Goten essentially to propose to Videl.
Yeah.
Even though she's already married to now
kind of
very castrated
Yeah,
Gohan.
very sad Gohan.
He's wearing a sweater, his pants are too high.
What's
and
gone horribly
Piccolo
right in his
is
life?
bummed out about it.
Gohan has a new set of Ed Hardy t-shirts that express all of his frustration.
Piccolo for 2 seconds, and he's just very upset about his sweater.
And you know
that
what?
he's wearing.
That might be the most well-told aspect of this episode, is we know exactly what's going on with Piccolo there. He's standing up there just like, Gohan became a bitch.
You could have been somebody.
So...
I think the Trunks story makes sense, though, in the way that they're 8-year-olds and they don't kind of understand anything.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
in that way, it was the only part of this episode that makes sense. Is they're confused, they want to buy Videl a diamond, they can't afford a diamond because they've made no money saving the planet for 2 decades. Then they go to get a perfume and have to fight a snake.
A giant snake.
Well, okay, they go to get perfume. It's too expensive. An old man tells them about a hot spring. They go to get water from the hot spring, but before they get directions, Trunks says, "How do we get there, man?" Which is very upsetting.
You have a serviceable Kid Trunks voice.
I am in it to win it.
This is going to come in handy later in the series.
And then they fight a giant snake who looks like he was painted in MS Paint. It was very upsetting.
So bad.
He's a dark green. He's a Piccolo green.
It was very upsetting. And then they fight the snake, even though they don't punch its face or anything. I feel like...
Yeah. And we're this is something we were talking about while we were watching it, but there's something so strange about the fact that when we last saw these kids, they were fusing together, becoming the world's mightiest warrior and beating the shit out of an ancient
doing something no
demon.
one's done for thousands of years, apparently. There's Super Saiyans at the age of 8 somehow, in a way that kind of breaks the logic of the show.
Yeah.
And then they can't kill the snake.
They can't kill the snake. They can't even, they don't seem to even know what to do.
They have one line where they're like, oh, we're going to blast the snake to pieces, and Goten starts like Kamehameha, and then Trunks is like, wait on the people down at the hot spring, and then he has to stop, but it's like, dude, just flick the snake.
Just throw it into the sun.
We've established you, like, destroy worlds. I don't understand what's happening with the snake, who was, like, anthropomorphically upset at them for trying to get the water, like it owned the water.
So they get the water. They bring it back.
Long story short.
And it is just water. And this brings me to the point of the women in the Dragon Ball Z universe who have one role, which is to do emotional labor for all these, like, golden retriever idiots.
Yeah, she, like, puts it on her face and she's like, is this just ordinary water? This is so touching. They're such beautiful little souls. And they're just like, we fought a snake.
It's just like, great. poor. Like, also, didn't she used to be like really badass warrior, and now she's all like,
she had those cool bike gloves and the short haircut and the
and
spandex
now she,
shorts.
sold out, man.
Vidal doesn't need that perfume either, because her man's an accountant at one of the highest firms in town.
I suppose, but he's also researching things.
I just feel like she got very straight suddenly, and that bums me out.
Yeah, they changed her hair. She's dressing in like preppy clothes. Vidal really lost her shine. We're pretty disappointed about it.
So,
and then the last scene, right?
Yes.
I think there's only one more thing that happens, and it's totally unrelated to everything else that happened in the episode.
Well, we miss Mr. Satan shows up, and then there's the last, like, blip of the episode.
Right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mr. Satan. So we're back with Goku again, who's
back
just
on
been
the farm,
punching holes into the earth.
Yeah, nothing's happened at the farm. He seems to have just stood in the same position until sunset.
Mr. Satan.
Why won't the crops grow? I've been punching them for days.
Mr. Satan shows up with a car that says Satan on it, and he's just like, listen, I feel bad, you did all the work, and we're also, like, really concerned about you. Here's a box of money.
Please have $100 billion. And
Goku says no.
He says he doesn't want it because that's like Goku is he's stoic and doesn't understand what money is, even though now he is a day laborer in the outskirts of Japan. And then luckily his 8-year-old son is there who's like, no, Dad, you're working for money. Please take the money. And he goes, oh, yeah.
I believe he literally says, if you take the money and bring it home to Mom, you won't have to work.
you won't have to be a dad anymore.
And that's what he does. He goes home to Chi-Chi. He's like, look, I got this box of money. And can I go to the sky now to train? And she's like, get the fuck out of here.
Beat it, Goku.
And then we didn't see Dad for months.
Oh my god.
She literally says, just check in every once in a while.
Yeah, it felt heavily implied that she's having an affair, right?
Yes. She seemed really nonchalant.
With Hercule, probably.
Probably, yeah. That seems... I was trying to think in my head who it could...
Hercule's the only one who actually interacts with society in the Dragon Ball team, and I bet he's, hitting up every woman around.
Oh, my God.
So, and then we have one last glimpse.
Quick little look at the Supreme Kai and that fella that he hangs out with.
Just so you don't think the show's stupid. At the end, Supreme Kai is in heaven and is like, "Oh, all these worlds are exploding," and then it's like, end of show immediately. Just so you're like, "Oh, maybe someone will fight in 8 hours," and then the show's over and this entire episode was so you wouldn't worry about Goku's finances in the coming episode.
That's really,
Episode 2's title is To the Promised Resort, Vegeta Takes a Family Trip?
Yeah,
question mark.
That was the best part because as it was starting, I loved the opening credit music. Amazing. I was rocking out real hard.
Fantastic.
Oh, it was wonderful.
We have not talked about in the opening credits. There's an incredible shot of Goku's boost knuckle. It's just...
or Goku's 2 Saiyan penises. No one's ever confirmed.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds kinky and I'm into it.
You can see the outline of Goku's penis through his pants
in
a deliberate shot on the part of the producers.
Nice. Sorry, I know you're trying to say something, but I love they opened it and they said the name of the episode and it ended like in a question and it sounded like the narrator had no idea what it was going to be about at all. It's like, oh, all right. Let's go.
He's as happy to be here as we are.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
Oh, no, you're totally fine. I always enjoy the something that's very consistent about anime announcers of this type of show is it's always the same guy. I'm pretty sure it's the Pokemon guy.
Yeah, it definitely is.
He has made a career of seeming genuinely shocked that someone's going on vacation.
Are we all mad about this?
His way to Pewter City.
I feel like all of us work in entertainment and want that job, and there's like this level of resentment that comes out.
Listen, this is part audition, so we all got to get our imitations on par.
The ultimate number one.
I will eat your whole race.
Get a life, Dad. All right. So we open on King Kai, and he is driving.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Just driving circles around that little planet he lives on.
He has to set out early in the morning if he wants to make it back to his house 10 times by the next 5 minutes.
Where does the food come from? He has so much food on that planet.
Wait, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So he's driving when all of a sudden who appears but Goku instant transmissioning in front of his car, sending it crashing into his house, destroying his home.
Also, does he kill those guys? I mean, I know they're gods, but they got the little monkey and the bug
Wait,
guy.
the monkey's taking classes, by the way.
Oh,
King
yeah.
Kai's monkey is taking improv
comedy
classes.
He's taking
Yeah.
improv.
Yeah.
He implies, yes, that he's
Is that
taking
that
comedy
God?
classes.
Is that his thing? Like, is he like the comic god, like the comic relief in this show?
Sort of, yeah. Well, he is. Yes, he is comic relief. He's one of
Yeah.
the many comic relief characters that we come in and out of.
He's
over
the
course
much
of the
needed
series.
break from
Gotcha.
the serious plot.
Yes.
Which we swear there is some at some point.
I'm not.
I will
I'm
have
not
to
sure
take your
it's
word
anything.
for that. It was fast. That was such great fourth wall breaking like comedy. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Hey,
I'm on
yeah.
board. That was great.
Right. Yeah, King Kai has some sweet lines in this episode where he's like, he wants to fix his house, but he has nothing to do, so he's gonna not do it through magic and just slowly repair his house. So he's mad at Goku, but Goku's already like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna train and eat your food. You're gonna give me a house, bitch.
Your planet has 10 times gravity.
Yeah.
You know, that thing Bulma invented.
Goku's just like, he's such a fucking scrub. Like, he just he's breaking everything, eating all his food, and the intonation of his voice denotes that he's not even like, I'm sorry, like, he's like, come on, give me a
He's
chance.
not sorry.
He's just
not,
like,
no.
he's just like, yeah, I don't know.
Woo!
I am.
Eat my shorts.
Yeah, when
I'm an adult.
When we get into a little bit later in the episode, because just the characterizations of all the guys in this, with the exception of the two bad guys, are fascinating. They are all such bros. And,
Yeah,
but
oh, yeah.
I've got a whole thing that we'll get to that later. I'm fascinated.
Yeah, there's a lot of masculinity and nowhere to put it.
Oh,
It's
boy.
so
the
gross.
patriarchy is broken.
It is gross.
Dragon
Yeah, I mean,
Ball Z.
is there one healthy man-woman
No.
relationship
No.
in this
Before
entire
you
show?
finish,
No, yeah.
there's nothing as healthy about
No.
anything that happens in this
Well,
show.
The one healthy relationship, and I'm jumping the gun, is Beerus and whoever the other guy is.
Whis.
And his
Whis.
domestic
Whis.
partner, Whis.
Yes.
We will get into
But
those
we'll get back to that.
beautiful
I'm sorry. I'm
queens in a
sorry.
minute.
Oh my god.
But talking about kinky and problematic relationships, cut to Bulma and Vegeta playing their favorite sex game, Let's Try and Kill My Husband, while
Oh
Trunks
yeah.
is thrown around in the back.
You're
That
telling
was a
me you never
weird
take a
scene.
trip and have your boyfriend sit on the roof of the car as a power game while you drive your child son
Under
with no
low-hanging
seatbelt?
branches
Yeah.
swerving back and forth.
Oh god, my life was Dragon Ball Z. My friend whose brother did that, we put him on the top of the roof of his van and we would drive like 80 miles per hour with him on top. Don't do that,
Jesus.
Why
but
would
we
you
did
do
that.
that?
I don't know.
Like-
I wasn't happy with that.
Wow. How old were you when Jackass came out?
Oh, unfortunately the right age.
Yeah.
It was not good. I hated doing stuff like that, but then it's either I go out with them and do that or I sit at home by myself.
I mean,
so
it's
I would
cool
go out
when
and do
Vegeta
it, but
does it.
yeah, no, it's not cool when
It
humans
only
do it.
stimulates their sex life further.
Yeah, very sexual.
They're
Yeah, it
clearly
felt-
very happy with each other
Yep.
while being totally dysfunctional.
Oh, totally.
And they were very much filming Vegeta from the side or behind, so we didn't see the massive erection.
Yeah.
There's just tiny lightning bolts shooting out from his crotch.
It's got its own little power-up lights.
His son's broken his arm in the car.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's clearly everyone's getting off, but don't worry. They crash and they end up at the vacation destination that we learn was promised.
He promised.
My promised vacation.
He promised when he beat the shit out of his son.
Oh my god.
Trunks left the mop out at some point in the Boo Saga, and they have this great flashback of Vegeta rocking him in the face and then getting out of it.
Trunks spilled paint in the garage.
And then he gets out of it by being like, oh, we'll go to Hawaii or some bullshit. Whatever. Can I have your mom drive me to the ocean?
What is the family name of Vegeta's family? It's not Son, right?
It's the Prince family.
The Prince family. I guess it's the Vegeta family.
Yeah, he's named
right?
after the planet Vegeta, so his name is Vegeta.
Trunks showing up to school with the cigar burn like in Breakfast Club.
Oh.
This is what you get in the Vegeta house when you spill paint in the garage.
Yeah,
I'm so adept for my age.
Even the mother or no, the father-son dynamic is just a nightmare.
Well, that's how Trunks got cool. You don't have cool kids by not abusing them.
Yeah, have you seen that jacket he wears as an adult? It's
Well,
amazing.
Bulma's stepping in and doing all the parenting, and like she's got her sick haircut, and she smiles.
She's
through all
she
the
looks
pain.
a single mom.
Great.
Yeah.
She looks so good.
And
Yeah,
she
she's
is killing it in those montages. Can we talk about some anime montages? Because they're my favorite stuff. We
yeah.
got a
Yep,
shopping
yep.
montage and an angry dad montage.
Oh my God.
One after the other.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, and I think it might be time to drop a little line from the first episode. Saiyans be shopping.
Saiyans be shopping. But this point, Vegeta is not into it. But you know what? He won't even carry the boxes. He won't even help a little bit.
He's like the world's strongest man. He won't even carry the boxes. What a dick.
I'm on Vegeta's side. Global capital has clearly not been a friend to their family or any of the Saiyan warriors, and watching them shop for shirts is one of the most depressing things I have seen in a cartoon in some time.
Trunks is killing it, though. He's like doing that whole, kind of like surfer from the 90s
got
thing.
Oh my
Style,
God,
he's
he is
young.
Bart Simpson in this, like
Yeah.
to a T.
He really is. Yeah.
commodified
Take a
his
look at this
sexuality.
cowabunga shirt.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, Dad, don't I look cool? And he's like, what is cool?
Yeah.
Cool is a social construct.
My planet was destroyed.
My dad is dead.
I'll never love you.
So I gotta tell you guys, a lot of this episode, I mentioned this while we're watching this, reminds me of a trip my family took to Hawaii in the early 2000s in which my parents who are now divorced, got into a very large fight, the biggest fight of their marriage at a luau. And there's two scenes in this episode that remind me of that. One, where we realize Vegeta's cranky because he has not eaten, and Bulma smiles and brings them to a buffet, in which he says, I will eat your whole race.
To an octopus with which he is angry.
Because during his sex games with his wife, she drove him underwater in their spaceship, and an octopus got on his face. And then it inked him later, and he yelled at it, I will eat your whole race. To the point where you can't imagine why there are anime Nazis on the internet or what they're getting out of this.
There's a lot of, slight genocide in this episode. Like, he gets so mad after he inks his face, he almost kills an entire planet of people. But don't worry, Bulma does damage control, because what do the women in DBZ do? Emotional labor.
Super!
Are we going to say this every episode? Just kidding. There's not going to be women in every episode.
Oh.
That is definitely true. They get passed off.
Is there not even one woman hero in those?
Videl was.
Like
a hero, and
Yeah.
Chi-Chi was too. But they never were the strong ones.
Sure.
The only one that was ever strong was Android 18, who's Krillin's wife, who's a pig now. That hasn't happened yet, but I know he's a cop now. Android 18 is an evil man-killing machine who they have to subdue, and then later is like, I'm attracted to your weakest man, and I'm just gonna settle down and be his submissive partner.
I know.
Yeah, but there's definitely some ball stomping going on in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah. She is a hard femme. There is some shit going on.
She's
there.
great, but none of the women ever get to do anything cool, really. It's not that kind of show. Look, there's dinosaurs.
In Dragon Ball GT,
yeah, that's true.
Pan becomes a pretty central character. She goes on some adventures.
Jeremy, as we are watching Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, not canon, wiped from the record.
Oh, I don't think it's wiped from the record. I think this takes place in between Z and GT. So
so are they very carefully not gonna like?
I'm guessing at the end of the series there's going to be some sort of a Majin Buu type Dragon Ball scenario where they're going to wipe out everyone's memories, and that's how all of this isn't going to be brought up in GT.
They should just make it non-canon. GT was not.
It's not good.
They
had a good video game.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good video games. Those are all the ones I played in like 2000, the like PlayStation ones.
Yeah, before any of us had seen GT in America.
Ooh, you had no idea who these people were, and you loved it.
So good.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
I'm sorry. I was sleeping there for a second. What's going on? Where are we?
So we're going to go to a luau, and they chant for Vegeta to get on stage and dance. He, of course, never danced in his whole life, so he shouts everyone to death and then shoots into the sky. And Bulma and Trunks smile, and they're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, they said, oh, he made it this long. We should be happy with that. Like, no, they were surprised. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
They set
that's
their
terrible.
expectations to the ground.
Oh, terrible.
And honestly, if Dragon Ball is following my life, once Dad leaves, we have a little more fun, so it's fine.
Yeah.
A lot less stressful.
You could totally see how Bulma and Trunks would have such a wonderful life without Vegeta.
Wouldn't every woman and kid in this like benefit from them disappearing?
Well, no, because then they'd be destroyed by monsters.
So not disappearing, just going off to train with King Kai until some shit happens.
Real bro trip.
Get him out of here.
So now we've fully explored unhealthy relationships. Let's get into a healthy one with entering the cat zone. We open to...
Can we have a theme for entering the cat zone?
Yes,
Highway to the cat zone.
And that is it. All right.
Nailed it.
So what's his name again? I can't remember.
Beerus.
Beerus.
Lord Beerus the Destroyer.
Beerus.
And Whis.
His friend.
Yes, two confirmed bachelors who live together and have cute banter in space. Beerus is just like, honey, I'm hungry. And he's like, I still have 2 minutes.
It's the only healthy relationship I've seen so far.
And it is so sexual, too.
Oh,
they
my
are
God.
fucking all the time.
You can...
Well,
yeah,
they're also
palpable.
doing the most killing, too. There's a direct proportion from killing to fucking.
Maybe that's
That
what
is
it
true.
is. Yeah.
We all know that.
All right, Goku, Chi-Chi, the worst relationship, completely non-functional. Vegeta, Bulma, abusive, more sexual. Vegeta wants to kill more people. Beerus, Whis, most sexual. They're already killing people every minute of the show.
Yeah, and they're just having like so much fun with it. You know, there's a lot of giggling, a lot of just like, a lot of bantering.
Do you guys like this? I'm not really happy with the direction they've taken the villain because I like him a lot.
I'm not
very likable.
I do like my Dragon Ball villain to be full of like diatribes and just being angry.
Cell is the best one.
Cell's the best
right?
one,
because he's evil, but he like has a purpose, and he's just a big piece of shit. Everyone wants him to die. I don't want this guy to die. He's in a committed relationship.
Now that I'm thinking about it, there is like a definite like kind of like gay energy to a lot of the Dragon Ball villains.
Well, that's
right?
like a common trope.
Frieza.
Is the there's like they say in Disney, there's only 3 kinds of villains. You got drag queens and Arabs. Like, it's like
that was 2. Okay.
there's probably a 3rd one I can't think. Like the like intellectual homosexual or just someone with a big nose. So like
there's 2 kind of Arabs out there, and you're either.
Well, they're both problematic. So like Japan likes the effeminate villain. Just think about like James or anyone like that.
Or any Final Fantasy villain.
I
always
like-
has 9 scarves.
Yeah, I like Whis. He reminds me of a Sailor Moon villain. He's got a lot of Dark Moon
Yeah, I
energy
like that.
going on.
Whis is cool as hell.
Yeah, and so he goes and finds a dinosaur that some minions killed, and he's like, I want to bring this back to my boyfriend for dinner. And they like try to punch him over it, and he's like, well, now my boyfriend's gonna kick your ass. And we finally get some Dragon Ball fighting.
That was such like a teen drama high school scene with like, oh, my boyfriend's here now and you're in trouble. Beerus in the Letterman jacket.
Oh my God, yes.
If you won't give me takeout, we're gonna have to get it ourselves. And then Beerus steps in and he fights the evolved combat form of this alien for the dinosaur meat. And there's like a fight, but it's one of those like Beerus blocks all the punches with his fingers, so he's not even like trying.
Yeah, they are obsessed with.
He's on the wrestling team.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
They show us power all the time with a finger. That's their favorite thing. Finger push-ups. They do the upside down handstand 1 finger push-ups.
Yeah.
Fighting with a finger.
Well, which is weird too, because your fingers aren't like muscles. Like you wouldn't be using your finger.
No, in no way would you do that.
I think it's adding to the effeminate energy, honestly.
It really is, yeah, because it does look like he's just singing like a
finger wagging.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed finally seeing something fight.
It was better to have a fight. Although
Definitely.
I could have watched just a Vegeta angry vacation for a full 30 minutes.
Yeah. To be honest, it did feel a little distracting. And also, I think we're doing a bit of a disservice to Goku's valiant battle against the ground in episode 1.
Yeah, he kicks the ground's ass. That was very one-sided.
Several times.
Speaking of which, now we're going back and forth between Vegeta training angrily by himself away from his wife and child, and Goku fucking up King Kai's planet and being just a general piece of shit about any hospitality he receives. He's like,
Goku is really a dick now.
yeah, King Kai's
He
like,
really
you're ripping
is.
up my tiny planet, and he's like, nah, it's fine.
It's fine, King Kai. It'll grow back. What an asshole.
Leif, from just seeing this episode of the show, who would you guess is the most powerful?
I mean, if I saw the first episode and I saw this, so I'm guessing it's Goku.
They do say it out loud a lot of times.
They talk about it a lot.
Mystery.
I mean, if I did not see the intro to the first episode and just rail again, like all my questions or grill you guys about what was going on, I mean the cat guy, but outside of that, the rage guy seems the most powerful.
We got Mad Dad and Goofy Dad.
Yeah, pretty much.
He has the most alpha mindset, and that's what brings you into that stage of the game.
I will say Vegeta is the only one bringing classic DBZ, like alpha male, angry eyebrow energy.
It feels like a different show.
Yeah. I'm ready.
They spliced in that cut of him punching his son in the face, and you were like, oh, I remember this. And then they cut back to Dragon Ball Super, and it was like, oh, they don't have my size. It's like really strange segue they're doing.
And then he says like, "Oh, you don't know how to, but you didn't button your shirt right." And the kid's like, he starts like losing his mind. That's when I started having like trigger. Like, oh god, oh my god, I'm in so much trouble. Just like, oh, that poor kid.
If you're a truly powerful warrior, you can neg your children.
Yeah, exactly.
And that helps them reach.
That what makes you ultimate number one.
While Vegeta is training, he does say, I will now be an ultimate number one. In a script totally untranslated from the Japanese originally.
I am looking forward to some A+ lazy translation. Clearly, they rushed the shit out of this.
Yeah, and clearly they chose at some point to keep the titles hilarious.
Yep.
So basically, we have our little dual training montages, and then Kitty Cat destroys the world, and in the blast, he sees a figure.
He has a vision.
A vision.
He's been having dreams. He's trying to tell his boyfriend about his dreams, and Lisa's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the dinosaur is getting cold.
Did you remember when you told us that a celebrity would be moving in next door?
He literally says that.
Beerus, you fool.
Yeah, and then he goes, he believes the thing he needs to put his mouth on is a Super Saiyan.
Not just any Super Saiyan.
The Super Saiyan God.
Which I mean, I know you know what this is, Alex. But,
I do. I made the mistake of watching one of the movies before we started watching this show, but the movies, and I don't know whose production decision this was, are just arcs of the show compressed into an hour and a half.
Which feels...
So they just spoil the whole thing for you, but you don't really get along for the ride for it. So
a really good way to start a reboot of a franchise when you're only doing 2 arcs of it before the next season to then make 2 movies that come out in advance of it that spoil the 2.
It's for the diseased children who are watching as their last wish. And they want to remember what happened, but they don't have time to see it all again.
Once again, that fever. Title of this episode is Where Does the Dream Pick Up? How do you find a Super Saiyan God?
What a weird phrasing. Where does the dream pick up?
That's just a thing people say.
Yeah, you know how everybody says that.
You see your friend, it's been a while, you're kind of wondering what they've been doing. You're like, hey, so where does the dream pick up? Just 2 friends talking here.
I think
And then you lick your arm to remind everyone you're a cat?
Yeah, of course.
To me, it just sounds like a meme, like a Just Girly Things meme. Like it's like a couple holding hands in the sunset, and it goes, "Where does the dream pick up?" Just Girly Things.
That's a really good idea. Yeah. But doing like Dragon Ball pictures with like a purple filter over it, a little blurry, and it says, "Where does the dream pick up?"
Jeremy Hammond is Ballin Out Super's official social media presence and merchandise. He is Internet Super.
This furthers our narrative that we are all dads, as we are trying so hard to connect with the children.
Yes,
and we
kids,
don't
you like
know how.
memes, don't you?
There'll be a picture and words. It's everything you like.
So, Katie, what happened in this episode?
Well, I would like to preface this podcast by saying nothing happened in this episode except listing names and telling us actively what is happening in the episode.
That's not totally true. We also learned that Piccolo has difficulty keeping his eyes open in photographs.
One step at a time. Okay.
He's in a lot of photographs, and he never has his eyes open, and it's his greatest struggle. That's how he gets more powerful.
I'm also not sure if we've ever seen photography in Dragon Ball before this.
Why are people still surprised people can fly? I am not over that. They've done it a lot. They were in the Cell Saga, they broadcasted on TV, people flying.
Yeah, but everybody's memory was erased at the end of the Boo Saga.
What was there? Was it just erased that when Boo attacked? Because I thought that was when they erased, but like they're flying around all the time for years. It's been decades. So.
Well, I think what they were saying at the end was that they're erasing their memories of Boo entirely, which in a certain very liberal interpretation of that could mean the idea of powers. Just saying.
All right. You know what? I don't know why I'm getting stuck on this. Let's go back to the
There's a dog president and you're worried about why people are.
Speaking of dog president, let's take the highway to the cat zone.
Give us that jingle, Katie.
Highway to the cat zone.
We had a jingle.
We open on Beerus and Wheeze having a cute tete-a-tete lovers quarrel as they travel through time and space.
Yeah, they're at the hot spring at that point, right?
No,
not yet.
They're on their way to the hot spring.
There's nothing that happens.
Sorry, we revisit Beerus and Wheeze having a lovers quarrel a second time.
Yes, because literally, the plot of this episode is as follows. Wheeze and Beerus tell us what they're doing, cuts away, we go to Kai, then we go to all the Kais the Supreme Kai tells us the plot of the episode again that Beerus and Wheeze has already told us. Then there's another comical bit. Then Beerus and Wheeze tell us a third time the plot of the episode. Then we go on a boat. And then Beerus and Wheeze tells us a fourth time the plot of the episode. I swear to God, that is the whole
How are
thing.
we 3 episodes into this series and we still nothing's happened?
Each episode is a different vacation, and they're trying to get us. They're steeping the audience in this mythos that they're on vacation. They've had a vacation from Dragon Ball, but the vacation is over, and the fights are about to start again.
In the first episode, what we thought was Goku farming for his own profit was actually Goku participating in the woofing program, working on an organic farm to gain life experience.
The woofing program, cruelly installed by the dog president.
I will say the one important thing in this first interaction is we get a name. What's that name? It's Goku.
That takes a long time to get there, though. Like it's a lot of like, what is this? Oh no, because he brings out his slug in a bowl, That is all right. So Beerus, Lord Beerus, the god of death, keeps a slug in a bowl to tell him what people's names are when he forgets. And the 5 minutes of the show is him asking the slug, but the slug doesn't remember, and then he like threatens it, and then it remembers.
They really milk starve it.
Yeah.
He threatens to starve it to death.
Beerus and Weiss likes to hang out in like some 80s Coke lounge.
Yeah.
And eat purple Jello. We're jumping all over the place, but I think that's fine considering that.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a mess of an episode. They jumped all over the place. Why can't we?
Other Jeremy, do you feel like, does anything in this episode even stick out to you? Can you remember anything about it?
I liked how they reveal that the cat guy has some sort of genitals, but they don't say what. I like that.
He feels shame when he stands up in the hot spring.
Right, because he's like us.
Sees his dick.
And everyone sees his barbed cat.
Yeah.
He is a, like, what? He's like an undying god who's all powerful, but he doesn't want us to see his little pink cat wiener.
We all have flaws, I think.
After you've been alive for 4 million years, you actually hate your dick so much. You hope no one sees it again.
Oh, boy.
I think a really important interaction in this episode, and important, I mean very loosely, is that when Supreme Kai and King Kai are talking on their heads, and then Goku's like, y'all talking about me? And then they have to remind Goku that he is a god, but he is also dead.
Yeah, that's right. They remind Goku that he's literally a murderer. Like, we know he's killed several people. That's a major part of this show, and I understand you got to kill sometimes. But he killed King Kai and Bubbles and Gregory for no reason.
Jeremy Hammond, sometimes you have to kill.
Listen, I'm no pacifist, okay? Sometimes revolution
I work at
needs
Hard
to be
Times
violent.
Magazine. I'm actually very punk rock. They have an expert recap of how the planet blew up, because they have the montage where Goku brings Cell, who's self-destructing, onto North Kai's planet, and the planet blows up, and that's just to address the question of why they have halos over their head, knowing it has no bearing on the show, which they announce in the show.
Yeah.
While they're saying it, they're like, what's the difference? You're already here, but now you have a halo. And they're like, there is no difference. And then they like,
but the other guys make fun of me.
That was it verbatim. That's so dumb.
We are 3 episodes in, and they're just like, let's just get meta. Like, the writers are just like, we're going to make money no matter what.
Yeah, when did they write this during the WGA strike or something?
I did appreciate that they showed actual clips from the original show. That was nifty.
That was nice. Although, as you pointed out, it is a very distinctly different animation style.
They redid the Frieza fight because they couldn't show like 2 Legos fighting like they did in 1989 when it first came out.
So after we talk about halos, we go to Beerus and Weiss eating, and then they decide they gotta go to planet Earth. And they also talk a lot of shit about King Vegeta, and Beerus announced that he wiped out all the dinosaurs with attitude problems.
Oh, yes, that's right. Two things from that scene. One is we did get a bit of exposition there. We learned a bit about who Beerus and Weiss are, because when they talk about blowing up Planet Vegeta, as opposed to King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta and every other Vegeta that we have to remember in order for any of this to make sense.
It's hard to think of names.
That's why everybody's food, you see.
I'll eat your whole race.
If you say Vegeta 3 times in a mirror at midnight, your dad comes and disappoints you.
But so what we learn, though, in that scene is that that Beerus instructed Frieza to blow up Planet Vegeta.
I am so glad you were paying attention.
I know, right?
I missed
Somebody
that
needed to be. It was a difficult one to pay attention to.
This whole episode is the Old Testament episode of Dragon Ball. It's listing names for like minutes on end, and then explaining shit that's not directly related to the plot, but sort of related to the plot. So you can just be like, oh, I guess this is kind of the same show.
Let's get into name listing, because after that, we got to Earth, where we have Android 18 and Krillin on a real cute car ride, and then they fly into the sky and meet everyone.
Yeah,
and
all
their friends.
Until they realize it's stupid to take a car or own a car because they can fly.
And they've always been able to fly.
Even on the show, they're like, why do we have a car? And they're like, oh, look, Piccolo's here.
A lot of the show was explaining plot holes and then not giving an actual answer, just being like, I don't know, here's the next scene.
It's more pointing out a plot hole and then saying, oh, hey, Piccolo's here. Piccolo, look at this picture of you with your eyes closed.
It's almost like it was written by people who like watched the show and then were like, this show sucks. I'm just gonna here's all my complaints about it.
Yeah, it seems like they're intentionally trying to ruin this.
I don't care for Krillin with hair. Anytime I see it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You know what? Devil's advocate is the only way to be Krillin for me. You gotta have hair. You gotta be a dad now.
What?
Get out of here.
Krillin with hair, having a job, paying rent, having a car you don't need. This is Krillin now. This is what he's been about from the beginning, and now he has full praxis on his terrible...
Let me point out for you, Krillin does not have a job. Okay? Krillin has a blank check to kill people of color.
He hasn't been a cop yet in the show. We just know he is.
I've seen the picture. I know.
All it takes is, like, somebody made a mock-up picture of Krillin as a cop, and me and Jeremy are like, Krillin is ruined now.
My favorite character.
Oppressing the masses. Super!
Oh, boy.
Fuck Krillin now.
Well, there was one important thing that happened while they were flying to Bulma's party on an awesome yacht, and they were listing everyone's name, is that Yamcha was there.
That's right, Yamcha was there. Should we play a little game of What's Yamcha Up to?
What's Yamcha up to?
So, Alex, I'd like to start with you on this one. We see Yamcha in this episode. We see him flying with his little furry pal, Puar.
With Puar.
Who's
the real star of the show.
Truly, I would take a side show. I'd take a full reboot where it's just Puar.
Hell yeah, and you can't understand anything they're saying. That's a crucial part of the show, is it's in a different language with those subtitles.
So, up until this point where we meet up with Yamcha, what's Yamcha been up to?
Yamcha, now realizing that Puar is the only interesting character in his life, has rededicated himself to watching cats, and will fill in for anyone at the drop of a hat to watch their cat, you know, if they go on vacation or something, and then just, like, going to the movies by himself. And it's been 15 years of the bachelor life, and he's not tired at all. He loves it.
Katie, what's Yamcha been up to?
Yamcha, for some reason, is the only character on Dragon Ball Z that has ever suffered scarring, and he's been very upset and saddened by it. So he's started an Indiegogo, and he's raising money to get some plastic surgery, maybe, you know, go to cosmetic school to help him cover up those scars. Because, you know, Yamcha, he's a strong fighter, but he also has a soft heart, and he, you know, he just wants to be accepted in this impossible beauty standards that Earth has presented.
You can't get scars from fighting in this show. Yamcha actually has lupus, and it has had terrible effect. He's like Seal. He's the Seal of the show.
We're about to get so many angry... Like, we're going to get...
Jesus.
Dragon Ball... Ballin Out Super finally breaks it big because we have so many people in the Spoonies community.
I'm pretty confident anyone who listens to this cannot write, and I am leaning hard on that.
Super! Cap, what do you think? What's Yamcha?
Yamcha, Scar guy, right?
Scar guy with
cool.
the flying cat.
Cool. He has been working as a campaign manager for a young, smart armadillo who is going to primary against Dog President in 2020. Armadillo President. Dog President wasn't in this, but he's the character I'm most interested in.
Well, because he's pulling all the strings.
Yeah.
He's in the background. We need somebody to run in these primaries and push the dog party more armadillo. We can't be running our own armadillo parties. We won't get anywhere doing that. We're just going to serve as a spoiler. The whole thing's going to go to the dinosaurs.
Where do armadillos live? What kind of habitats?
The desert.
The desert. And do they burrow underground?
That's right. Do you not know what an armadillo is, Jeremy?
I don't know much about it. No, I know very little.
Tell me, these armored creatures, what purpose do they serve? I'm surprised this wasn't covered in the episode, because the whole thing was them explaining stupid shit we already knew about. They should have had an armadillo section.
I would have really appreciated that. It would have been something I didn't know about. No, I was trying to get at a pun on grassroots and wherever it is.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
I
Find it. I'm sorry, guys.
It's Sunday morning. I'm still technically drunk. I'm not going to slam dunk these.
Not to give it away to our listeners, but Alex is wearing sweatpants.
Hello. Settle in. We're comfy
It's
here.
Jer Bear, do you have any
Just got back
strong
from
opinions about what Yamcha has been up to?
Well, what I was thinking was that Yamcha, understanding his complete lack of relevance in the modern Dragon Ball universe, has actually decided to go back to his roots, and is back in the desert robbing children.
I forgot about that.
Lest we forget.
He's gone back to his lovely lifestyle of robbing little boys.
What a different show this used to be.
I know, it was so
At the
simple back
beginning,
then.
it was like a kid trying to earn money and get Dragon Balls, and also he's riding around with a teen girl who's invented capsules, and everyone's robbing each other.
That's something that we learned in this episode, is that Bulma's the richest person on Earth.
Yeah, Bulma's the richest person on Earth, and there's a couple of really key things that happen at Bulma's banging boat party.
Bulma's
One,
dad invented Tesla, so she has a lot of trickle-down money.
Gohan shows up, and he's being a little bitch, and he gives Piccolo a wedding photo that we have brought up many times, in which Piccolo's eyes are closed in the photograph, and it looks like Piccolo is upset that his eyes are closed, but we know the real reason he's upset.
Is that really short vest that Gohan's wearing. Why is everybody's outerwear so short on Dragon Ball? Have you looked at Future Trunks' jacket lately? It ends at the bottom of his rib cage. It's so tiny.
That's so you can see his abs. It's a crop top jacket.
Yeah.
It's by design.
I wear a lot of crop tops, and I will tell you that they're really good for fighting.
They were all wearing normal people clothes except for Piccolo. He was just wearing yeah.
Because
He's wearing his normal clothes. It is they in
who wearing.
Don't normalize this. This is not good.
Shirt.
And after that sweet moment with Piccolo, Gohan continues to be a pain in the ass, and he goes up to Bulma, who's like, "Why isn't my husband or Goku here?" And he's like, "They're in the sky still, just training," and she is rightfully pissed. We cut to Vegeta, who is in the same exact spot he was since last episode.
That's right.
It may have been even the same animation.
It looks like the same animation, and like his whole only dialogue was like, "Mumble, mumble, ultimate number one, mumble, mumble." He didn't even say anything about it.
Something we didn't acknowledge from the scenes of Goku training on King Kai's planet, something I'm sure, Katie, you'll have a very strong opinion on, is Goku's ridiculous Russian mobster outfits.
Oh, yeah, his tracksuit, quality tracksuit.
Oh,
I
my
don't
God.
know where he got that. He does look like he's like a low-level goon.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to lock somebody in a freezer.
Have you ever, met a homeschool kid and, like, what they think is, like, cool is based off of movies from the 80s? Like, that's what Goku's, like, whole thing is.
Who has no contact with society. He lives on a turnip farm in the middle of nowhere with nobody but Chi-Chi, who dresses like it's, like, feudal Japan.
He has no socializing. Like, he doesn't know what's, like, appropriate. And, like, yeah, he dresses like he's about to rob a fucking pork store.
Goku has a new outfit every episode of this show because they're advertising for high-end designers. It's where all of the money for Dragon Ball comes in, so they can keep losing money on those toys. My favorite part of the episode is, so they're having the boat party for Bulma, right? Who is independently wealthy, and Goku now has $100 billion. Let's all remember from episode 1.
Of course, yes.
That was a big story point. Zenny. He
I
has
don't know what the
100 billion
conversion rate is
Zenny.
to dollars.
He has an unimaginable number of Zenny, and he's in space, realizes his best friend is having her birthday party, and is like, oh no, Bulma's having a party, and then goes back to training immediately, even though he could totally get there.
Yeah, he has
in
instant
an
transmission. He can literally do that. We've seen him do it. We're even reminded earlier in the episode that he can do it when they show us him bringing Cell to the planet.
He just doesn't care. He doesn't care about his friends. They want us to know that.
I think they're really trying to set us up for a Goku heel turn. I really think that's where this is going.
That would be so good.
Man, what an interesting change of events.
Katie, what was your favorite part of the episode?
I mean, there was a lot of like I can't even tell you what happened. Yeah, after the boat, all we have after that is Beerus and Whis pack a picnic, and they go to fuck up Earth. And then, once again, Supreme Kai summarizes what happened a third time.
Yes.
And
we should mention pack a picnic is not an expression, and it was a scene in the show where Whis explained what he brought Beerus for lunch later, and then Beerus was like, whatever, we'll get takeout. And then
he says, perhaps we can find a lovely along the way.
Oh, okay, I misheard them.
We can stop and look at the view and eat. It's literally a picnic.
They
That's
continue
all
to be
they
the
talked
only
about.
functional couple in the show.
I like their healthy
sorry, I take it
relationship.
Yeah, they seem to be going well.
I guess my favorite part of this episode is just finding out that Bulma's the richest woman in the world. And,
Yeah, that is very nice.
very satisfying.
Is it empowering as a woman to see Bulma do so well?
Yeah, especially because her marriage is so awful, as we discussed last episode. And I feel like it puts the power dynamic a little, like, she's got this, like, shitty husband, but, they play weird sex games, and she's the breadwinner, apparently, so fuck
Inequality has only gotten worse under this damn dog president.
What?
No one's saying anything about it.
What was the name of the episode again? It was Where Does the Dream Go or something? See,
The name of
she
the
ever-
episode is Dog President.
No,
So maybe she like looks at her daughter sometimes and just is like, "Where does the dream pick up?"
Do you have a favorite part of this episode?
I think it was when the two white hair people who have no relation to the other characters, it seems, from my perspective at least.
Yes.
Supreme Kai.
You're
Okay.
completely right about that. They know them, but that's it.
Yeah, so I liked them the most. I liked when the older guy went on a 2-minute explanation about like good versus evil, and the other guy just went, "Yeah, I know."
Supreme Kai is the ruler of the universe, but doesn't know shit about anything, apparently.
And I'm going to say my favorite part of this episode was when those same white-haired people explained to us that the events of the past 2 episodes, all the planets we've seen Beerus and Whis destroy, all the eating we've seen them do, has been half a day.
Yeah.
It has been 12 hours.
It's been more of our life than it has been of their life. Which doesn't seem fair.
It doesn't make sense. He's so skinny. How does he eat so much?
I want to see the spin-off that's just about Bulma's pill addiction to compensate from the rest of her terrible life.
I want to see a spin-off that's just like an Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations, but with Beerus and Whis.
Yes!
oh my god.
I love
Just
No
going
Reservations.
planet to planet.
Just eating that purple jelly.
Yeah,
Was
really
it jelly?
romantic filming.
I thought it was like Captain Crunch with berries. I didn't realize that it was.
No, it's alien food. Your mind can't even imagine what food this is. That's why it's in a martini glass again. Look at this crazy food in a martini glass. The mind recoils.
For the Dragon Balls Pilaf and Crew's Impossible Mission.
Super!
Sorry.
We're going to keep doing that until it stops being
So
fun.
this is another episode where basically only one important thing happens the entire episode. It's been very annoying. We open with Beerus and Whis having a cute couples moment where Beerus is running on Whis' shoulders and Beerus is bitching about lunch.
And we see his lunch, and it's a very dead fish.
Yeah, it's space fish. It's nothing like the fish you and I know. But Beerus hates it because he ate it 140 years ago once.
That's right, and
He's sick of it.
He's sick of it.
Sick of it.
He can't.
But Whis
100.
remembers.
Oh, by the way, I'm a cat.
Whis remembers.
Whis
that-
remembers cooking it. Yes,
because he cares.
Whis does care a lot.
He remembers all those details.
Whis
a
is the
very
only adult in the show. He's really a role model for the other young.
You guys should start an over-under count on how many episodes it's going to be Bulma's birthday for.
Should we? Let's do it. Let's make some predictions. Alex, what do you got?
I think this whole arc is going to be today. I'm serious.
So you're guessing
26. I'm guessing 26 episodes.
26 episodes of Bulma's birthday. What do you got, Dan?
I mean, so, now I need a little context. Did we began episode 1 was Bulma's birthday? We're on the boat.
No. We heard about Bulma's birthday in the second episode.
But they said it's only been half a day.
Yes, the first 3 episodes are
Even
only
though we
half
saw
a day.
Goku crank out a shift.
I said it's the time dilation. It's like a drug.
So this is the first episode we're on the ship for Bulma's birthday.
Low end 2-3 more episodes on the boat at Bulma's birthday. I could see maybe up to, I don't know, 5-6.
5-6.
Yeah,
You think they're gonna have a battle and then break off and then pass some time?
Yeah. Well, so the 3 little rascals who snuck onto the boat.
Yes.
Which is Pilaf and crew.
And the rest.
The epitable.
And the rest. Remember the end of the first season of the Gilligan's Island theme song? Instead of going, the professor and Mary Ann, it went the movie star and the rest. I changed it for the second season onward.
Because it was too demeaning.
It's like, look, there's only fucking 2 of us. Would you use my goddamn name, please?
Did you know that song was written to be to the same tune as Amazing Grace?
Christ.
It's the same song. You can do it in Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. It's the same song.
I've never heard that song before.
Amazing Grace?
Oh, well, you said it so differently.
Very popular song. That's like number 1 for a couple
Grace,
weeks.
how sweet the sound.
It's a major
Everyone put your hands over your heart for this dumbass shanty place.
All right, before we get too far off track, Katie, how many episodes are we on the ship with Bulma's birthday party?
I'm going to say we're probably at least a solid 5.
Solid 5? Okay, so my prediction, as I understand it, the Dragon Ball Super in Japan is up to, I think, the 60th episode. No, 90th. I'm seeing it at the bottom of the screen here. We're up to 90 now. I'm going to guess that 90 episodes in, we are still at Bulma's birthday party.
There we go. Those are the odds. That's how you make a bet.
It's going to be Namek all over
Those
again.
are adult numbers.
Oy vey.
For
All
an
right.
adult show.
So after we see the boys in space, pretty much don't see them, we get space.
Now, are they in a void? Is that just the light speed of travel?
They're just
how
traveling.
Just traveling. 4 more minutes.
We have a brief
Next stop.
Next stop, little sister. Because it's the cat bus. It's fine.
What?
Oh, I get it.
All right, Katie, where are we?
We briefly go to North Kai. King Kai has a meltdown because he feels like Beerus is coming. Goku gaslights the shit out of him. And then there's a dance number. It's really nothing to talk about because what we need to get into is the boat montage. There is a montage of everyone having fun on Bulma's party boat to a harpsichord.
Oh, yeah. This is how the 1% live, harpsichords. Tray after tray of roast hams.
Way overpriced security system that a child can beat.
So something that we pointed out while watching the episode that I think is fine to get back into is just the gross depiction of capitalism by this show so far.
Yes.
And a very positive light upon it, like a very benevolent.
Well, but I think that we're kind of all over the place here. In this episode that you watched with us, it's a very positive depiction. In the first episode, we see Goku struggling to keep the lights on.
Yeah,
He's farming for turnips
Goku's
to
son.
keep the lights on.
Goku's son drops a tractor off the cliff while he's on his lunch break.
Yeah.
Because someone needs to keep farming.
Now, again, with a distance of about 20 years since the last time I watched any Dragon Ball Z, good to know that Goku is still the dumbest man alive.
Well, and we posited on the last episode that we may be being set up here for a Goku heel turn because he continues to make dumber and dumber decisions and do worse and worse things. In this episode, he destroys King Kai's house again.
Yeah, I mean this is a simple. It's like a pool hustler. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not too good at like. Fine, I guess I could do one more. You're gonna beat me again, though. I guess I could do one more game. And then you take the pot.
I believe Trunks and Goten break into the vault of the ship where they're hiding bingo prizes, one of which is a jet, a smaller boat, a house, and what? Dragon Balls!
That's
because the rich party
balls.
irresponsibly. The women have had enough and they want this world to end as quick as possible.
There are so many people on that boat who should have no access to the Dragon Balls. I can think of at least 5 offhand.
Literally Piccolo's there.
Piccolo is there. We do remember that Piccolo was once a bad guy. There are several. I mean, Master Roshi is just going to use it to abolish women's clothing.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hook up. He just wants to peer at them for longer with his little glasses so he gets a hemorrhage out his nose.
He just wants more glory holes. That's all Master Roshi wants.
Boo's gonna turn everyone into Marzipan Taco Bell.
That's right. Yes, Marzipan Taco Bell.
I don't know. I'm looking at these notes. It's like nothing happened. Yeah, okay.
That's right.
Oh, we did. Now 8 minutes of this episode were spent on Garbage Island, where they were digging for Dragon Balls or fish,
I guess,
or clams, or food.
Yeah,
food and or Dragon Balls, whatever we find.
It had the quality.
Garbage Island is fine.
And the quality of once again, I've said this before. Waking up from a fever dream, you're actively taking in information and actively forgetting it. You're just
why are they children? I don't remember.
You can't
why
remember it and continue watching. So the show dares you to forget at all times.
I believe at one point they realize the balls are on the ship. They get in a little rowboat and a shark tries to eat them. Did that happen? Did I imagine it? Who cares?
Hard to say.
Who knows?
Was that James and the Giant Peach? I don't remember.
The shark. My God.
There's a big preoccupation on this show so far of children being chased by large animals.
Yeah. They couldn't get the rights to yakety sax. So it was very serious music playing over it. I think the shark is better than the snake.
It's hard to find zany
it was shade
harpsichord
better.
music.
We only use rich people's instruments now.
It just seemed like this whole segment is one of those annoying segments that one of the producers came in and they're like, what about the kids? And we're like, the whole show is for kids. We don't need to make it.
Oh boy. I was really worried about how Pilaf and crew were feeding themselves. I'm glad to know that they became
rent. There's too many holes in the plot. I can't follow.
I'm so glad they've spent 4 episodes clarifying all of this for
I love that one part where he breaks out a map that's just like some drawing of a brown blob, and he's like, I bought this map for 50 cents. We have to find these. I have nothing.
Every now and then I'll work like a live event where I have an earbug in, like a little sort of in-ear monitor where you're getting notes from a director or producer or brand team being like, we got to vamp for time. We got to hold or whatever, live. And it seems like this 20-minute animated show was animated live with someone giving the notes of stall, hold for just keep. We need
what's on the boat? What's on the boat?
6 more minutes. Just keep describing things.
Are you hungry?
The band's not here. Yeah.
What is Yamcha eating?
Yamcha? Where was he?
Which is a very peculiar thing to see in an animated television show, which clearly had some lead time on production, one would presume.
In lines with the ends of history, anything could happen, so nothing will.
So I'm starting to get the distinct impression that what they're trying to lead us towards right now is that all of the Z-Boys have resumed their normal lives.
Dogtown and Z-Boy.
We're gonna be times on this show.
We're gonna be at Bulma's birthday for the next 20 years.
I believe it'd be Dog Mayor, Dog President, and the Z-Boys.
Dog Mayor and the Z-Boys. So I think they're trying to show us that the Z-Boys are back to their normal lives. Right. Everything is fine.
Boys are back.
But then they're showing us these little cutaways to Beerus and Whis, and it's supposed to be increasing the tension so that we're like, something bad's about to happen. But in reality, I couldn't be less worried about Beerus and Whis.
They show us Beerus to increase the tension, and then Beerus complains about the picnic his assistant brought him. Also, Vegeta has an intern this episode.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And
that's the real story of this.
This toxic, Mr. Vegeta, sir. This toxic relationship between Vegeta and Bulma. Like,
it's been a recurring.
Mr. Vegeta.
Vegeta's not on the boat.
Vegeta is nowhere near the boat.
There's not it's not like a danger room sort of situation.
Vegeta abandoned Bulma and Trunks on a family vacation.
That's right.
2 episodes.
Well, they asked him
just
to dance.
To train.
Which, as we also learned, is a half a day ago. So that means that Bulma came up with the idea for the cruise ship, booked the cruise ship, invited everybody, and then got the party going in half a day.
It's her boat, though. The boat is named the Princess Bulma, right?
It is, but she says on their family, the promised vacation. We learned
this promised vacation.
We learned that she comes up with the idea to rent a cruise ship to have her party, which means also in that time she rented the cruise ship and painted
her
Queen
name
Bulma on the side.
Excuse me, she is the richest woman in the world, and as we know, all the women in the Dragon Ball universe are doing emotional labor. And as we see, there's a lot of sad women on this boat. Chi-Chi is there, probably having an affair with Mr. Satan. And Android 18 is reminiscing about when she didn't have to deal with, fucking beta-ass Krillin, around with his stupid hair.
At least Krillin acknowledges her birthday. Oh, man. Yeah. We gotta be nice to Krillin.
Oh, we don't know that. We don't know. Does she even have a birthday?
She's an android who is now a lady.
So maybe the day that they made her a lady is when her birthday is celebrated.
18 and Vegeta belong together, and I will not rest until they add that into the show.
Oh.
Is that going to be an official Ballin Out Super ship?
Why
Make the shirts.
What was Vegeta's justification for needing to train so
they made him dance.
Oh no, so Goku doesn't get ahead of him.
Goku doesn't get ahead of him, and he just feels like people weren't respecting him.
He still sees Goku as a threat?
Yes.
God.
He's very insecure. Yeah, so the intern is like, yeah, you're missing your wife's birthday, and he's punches a wall. And
she's on the phone saying, you better get over here. Get your Saiyan butt over here.
And he says, I have no time for cake and nonsense.
Yeah, he calls her nonsense. It's such a fucking alpha move.
Cake and nonsense.
Yeah, then my wife called, and I called her nonsense. And
tea and sympathy, cake and nonsense.
And then
my father is Mr. Vegeta. Please call me Vegeta.
Planet Vegeta.
And then what?
We cut to Goku, who is hey,
circles around the planet.
Circles around the planet. It is nice to finally see him do anything.
Yeah, that was exciting.
That was exciting. We all at once said, fuck yeah.
When I tune into Dragon Ball, all I want to see is Goku doing Goku stuff. Yeah. That's all.
That's all I'm after.
And then finally, we get literally one piece of plot, which is that Beerus shows up, and then he's like, I'm here now. Yeah, and then the episode ends.
It felt so right for just a second. We were like, oh, shit's about to go down. No, it's not.
You gotta wait until we learn more about what Pilaf is wishing he could buy with the money he doesn't have.
Yeah, for the episode being called Pilaf's Play for the Dragon Balls, we got very little of Pilaf or the Dragon Balls in this episode.
Yeah,
it didn't feel like that was what this was about at all. They
got on board. They were sad. They were homeless people for a second on the boat. Yeah. They were little match. They were little match girls,
little ragamuffins.
Yeah.
Train car hobos immediately.
Yeah,
they had a bindle.
There's a little sad violin music underneath. There was. And we pitied them.
They sat around a fire and thought about the things they used to have.
And then these two fucking twerps that unlocked the Dragon Balls in the first place brought them tray after ham.
This episode was called Showdown on King Kai World, Goku versus Beerus the Destroyer. And that is...
crew.
and crew, not his crew, and crew. Vegeta goes on up and just keeps taking him on.
Basically, that is the plot of this episode.
Yeah, that's actually maybe the most descriptive title we've had so far.
Yeah.
This episode was the shit, by the way.
Yeah, this was a good episode.
We were really down after the
good.
last one. We kind of all lost our faith in the show.
We finally are getting into the core of Dragon Ball. So instead of seeing everyone in their questionable resort wear and just hanging out, we finally get some fighting and shouting of what we are doing as we are fighting.
Hell yeah.
So Beerus has shown up, and Goku at first mistakes Whis for the almighty Beerus.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were trying to imply
because
there.
he's taller, so...
And not a cat, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that one is a cat, he thought logically.
Goku has not gotten on the highway yet to the cat zone.
Do we have a theme for Highway to the Cat Zone?
Not yet, but
Okay.
Katie's been providing it, I think, very well.
Highway to the cat zone. All right.
We are in the cat zone, folks.
So we get some classic narrating exactly what's going on. Goku's like, oh, King Kai seems scared. Better pick a fight with this guy, even though he's explicitly told me not to.
The way he picks a fight, though, classic Goku.
Right? Just in it for the love.
King Kai's like, stay in the fallout shelter. No one likes you. And then Beerus is like, I see Goku. And Goku's like, I was told explicitly not to fight you. Would you like to fight? On very just kidding terms. And then they do, and it's embarrassing for him.
Yeah.
Because he gets wrecked.
So they want us to remind us how being a Saiyan works. So we got to list them all.
Yeah, that was very informative of them.
Every time he changes forms, he announces what it is so that you can point out your figurines correctly.
Oh my god.
That's what it is.
Now I am Super Saiyan.
But there is no Super Saiyan 2 figurine because how do you get the electric sparks to like
Well, I think they
yeah, they're like attached to it.
I think they made like clearish blue plastic lightning bolts that you would kind of just like clip on all over the place.
What a shitty toy that would be.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty bad. It's hard to play with because they'll just keep falling off.
Yeah,
you see.
exactly. Unless they like blast out.
That would be
That's
sick.
not canon though. That's not canon.
This is a very expensive toy.
But yeah, you were pointing out while we were watching it, I can't think of a time in the series where they ever used the term Super Saiyan 2.
No, it was always very subtle, like in the middle of battle when like Super Saiyan 1 was not cutting it. He just like turns it up a little bit more and then like, oh, this is good now.
We're not saying what this is, but wow.
Yeah.
In fact, I seem to remember there being a time during, I think, the pre-Boo arc where we see Goku in like the other dimension and whatever in the Supreme Kai, wherever the hell that is, and he goes Super Saiyan 3, and the guy asks him, hey, what's that? And he says, well, I suppose you could call it a Super Saiyan 3.
Oh, yes, he does. He's very nonchalant about that. Not like later when he's plugging the product line.
And this one's called Super Saiyan 1.
Well, that's what I love about show and style anime is they like make sure to announce what the move is so you know, so you can buy that damn toy.
Yeah. Very helpful.
You know, the writer's room was like, well, I suppose he could just power up and not say anything, but then no one says anything the whole episode.
And it's just a lot of
He's stronger than I expected.
I'm Gregory the Cricket, and I am impressed.
he talks like Vegeta.
I am the monkey, and I somehow survive everything.
Hey guys, I'm the monkey. Just got back from improv classes, and
Yeah, why does the cricket talk but the monkey doesn't?
oh, because it's a monkey, Jeremy. What, we're gonna let the monkey talk? What do you think our dog president would think of that? The entire show is about dog president now, by the way. This is Dog President Podcast.
So, Katie, what happens next?
Oh my god. So we have a framing device in which Whis keeps trying to eat his lunch while Goku and Beerus fight. So he keeps taking out the lunch, and Beerus is like, you can't beat me, and then he goes Super Saiyan 2, and then Whis is like, I guess I'm not eating lunch.
Yeah, we
and
keep
then
coming back to
It's a will they, won't they between Whis and his lunch.
It's a real
Goku,
Ross and Rachel thing.
we know that this is airing on Adult Swim and not Basic because Goku swears in this episode.
That's right. He says "damn it" twice.
Oh,
Good damn it.
I mean, if it were me, I would have been saying a god damn it when Krillin died.
Wait, does Krillin...
No. Frieza blew him up in the Frieza saga. I would have been like, God damn it, that's my only friend.
The Adult Swim version of the show is different because Piccolo uses the N-word constantly.
Which he can do because he's black. Piccolo's black.
It's just a questionable episode where Gohan starts using it, and then they have to explain he can't.
Oh, man.
Are you my dad? I don't know.
Oh my god.
So they fight a bunch, and then Goku goes Super Saiyan 3, and he finally gets a punch. But we find out that Beerus has been blocking with one hand, which we love focusing on those cat hands.
Yeah.
One finger.
Well,
there was a good 10-minute progression we were glossing over here where Goku powered up one level, tried to punch Beerus, but then Beerus didn't use either hands for 2 to 3 minutes.
He
simply dodged, which is a staple move of anyone in the show whenever they want to look cool. And then it powers up again, does it again for the 2 to 3 minutes. So you're like, oh, still same situation, but with the different form. And then he powers up again and shoots a beam across the world, and then he blocks it with one finger. So you're like, oh, that's why they do finger push-ups.
So many finger push-ups.
And it's all full circle.
And by the way, this is just for a friendly bout. Nothing at stake.
Yeah.
No, nothing at stake.
He just ruins an entire planet.
Yeah.
For funsies.
I'm genuinely starting to feel very bad for King Kai in this show.
Yeah, he didn't want Goku to come over. He insists on coming over, and he has just been fucking up his entire life nonstop.
Yeah, he blew a hole all the way through his planet in this episode.
Why can King Kai make land? Can he make things? Because he's God, right?
Yeah.
But he's dead, but
And he had
also
that-
God.
He had that line in the first one where Goku blows up his house and he's like, I could magic back this house, but I have nothing to do, which they wrote into the episode.
Yeah, so I guess he's just going to fill that hole back in. He's going to go to Home Depot and get some filler and some topsoil and get some cement chunks to throw in there to fill out the middle. Also,
I will be researching this all week.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. If there was a core of that planet, that bitch would have blown up.
Yeah, what is his planet all about?
It has to just be a rock.
I guess so, yeah. It's just a magic floating rock at the end of Snake Way, which is no longer there.
I'm beginning to think this show doesn't make any sense.
I feel like every Dragon Ball Z series is remember all that shit that we said it before? It's nothing. Yeah. This new thing, though, it's so crazy.
Yeah, do you remember when Raditz was powerful? Oh, my God.
He blew up a farming town.
Raditz was nothing in comparison to all this.
Nothing.
No. And he wasn't even a cat.
Also, has anybody ever considered what Raditz would look like if he went Super Saiyan? He's got that
because
crazy
he's Super Saiyan 3, yeah.
Or would it all at once shoot up to the top and he's just got this insanely tall Super Saiyan head?
I can't believe you're doing your bid on if Raditz was Super Saiyan right now. Jeremy's always bringing up, could you imagine if Raditz was
Y'all ever thought of Def Jam Dragon?
You in the front row. What if Raditz was Super Saiyan?
Relatable, quality
this guy don't want to laugh. He's
content.
with his girl. Does something happen next, Katie?
Basically, Beerus is like, all right, you tried. And he's like, this is boring. I'm going to go fuck up Earth because you bored me. So they leave. And then King Kai's like, well, great. You're dead in the ground. Well, he's sleeping. Beerus and Whis are on the way to Earth. And then we cut to Bulma's party.
Yeah, thank God.
What we all want to be talking about.
It's about time we got back to some good old wholesome Bulma's party filler.
We cut to Bulma's party ship. We have been on the party ship for 3 episodes now. And Vegeta is sunbathing in his full Vegeta outfit.
And Bulma says, I hope you get a sunburn on your face, the only part of you that the sun is kissing.
Then Vegeta slaps her with some real passive-aggressive bullshit
away. The greatest line in Dragon Ball history, possibly.
Has 2 lines in this episode.
Jaboukie, would you like to perform?
It was, oh yeah, why don't we go talk to Yamcha?
We don't see Yamcha.
The shade. Oh God.
So you know he's like not okay with their open marriage.
Oh my God.
Do you think it's open? Is that what it is?
I think it's Bulma was like, I will do this if it's an open marriage because I am all about Yamcha.
All of them gotta have open marriages. There's no way that you could be away months at a time.
We talk about in the first episode that Chi-Chi is just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so in the first episode, you haven't seen it yet. At the end of the first episode, Goku is gifted a whole bunch of money from Mr. Satan because in exchange for him not telling anybody that he is the one who saved the world and not Mr. Satan. Mr. Satan gives him 100 million zenny, an amount of money that we don't entirely understand.
Mr. Satan gives him 50 stock to Satan Corp, which is actually in really great states right now.
And at the end of it, Goku goes back home to Chi-Chi and says, look, we have more money than we could ever possibly use. Do you mind if I go train with King Kai? And she says, yeah, get out of here.
Like, get away from me. I'm trying to fuck Piccolo.
That's who it is. Piccolo, we had theorized that it might have been Mr. Satan because he's the only one who interacts with the real world. Mm-hmm. But you might be right about Piccolo.
I think it's Piccolo because Piccolo was there for the kids when Goku wasn't.
That's true.
Piccolo is the only good dad in his show and technically not a dad.
And ladies, he can stretch.
So here's a question.
He can stretch and he can regenerate.
That's right.
Yeah, if you want to rip his dick off.
Yeah, take it to go dick.
So here's a question in the same spirit as the Raditz Super Saiyan question. Piccolo's dick. Sorry, does it have a pink scaly underbelly like his arm?
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm going to say a hard yes on that.
I'm saying the scaly underbelly material is at the head and then the rest is green.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good answer. I'm picturing it like a snake.
I've thought about this a lot.
These are the pleasure ridges.
Actually, you know what? I think there might be something else going on down there because they do lay eggs.
That's
the
right.
Namekians.
He is born of an egg spit out of King Piccolo's mouth.
Yeah.
So maybe there isn't a dick at all.
Yeah. It could be some shit that we don't even comprehend.
It's like a cloaca.
Because he can stretch.
It's a cloaca.
Just a multi-purpose
Yeah.
hammock hole.
Bulma's like flipping through her phone and she's just like, someone keeps blowing my phone up with cloacas.
Oh my God.
Gohan, pleasure my hammock hole.
Yo, there's
I
definitely
destroyed the moon for you.
There's definitely some deviant art out there about this shit. Like,
for sure.
absolutely.
Oh,
Fans, send in your DeviantArt Piccolo dick pictures.
Or
we want to see
cloacas.
them.
Or
their
cloacas. Hammock holes.
At Ballin Out Super on Twitter. Send us your Piccolo dick cloaca.
Follow us.
then
You can
get
DM me personally.
Get yourself
Slide.
banned from Twitter.
So basically, after that, all that happens is King Kai calls up Vegeta. He's like, yo, this guy's coming to town. Don't fuck with him. But he's like, I want to fuck with everyone.
That's what I do, King Kai.
King Kai reads the shit out of Vegeta. He's like, shut up, you dummy. He's like, what does he say? He's like, oh, you're so strong and worldly. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. He says, Lord Beerus, I think I've heard that name. Oh, I'm sure you're so worldly.
Yeah.
And then,
There's a lot of high-quality bitching going on in this episode.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, I think King Kai's been broken.
He's just ready to clap back at everybody.
He's just clapping back. His whole life has just been, he is a god who is dead somehow. And his planet has just been drilled. All he wants to do is eat fried rice and pet his monkey, you know? Yeah, and then, Goku is like, well, I want to fight Beerus again because I don't know how to take critique. And he's like, maybe I confused with Vegeta. Maybe I got to figure out what was the Super Saiyan God crap. And
yeah, let's spend a minute speculating about what the hell is going on with Super Saiyan God.
Please.
So I know that you have, Alex, you've seen the movie.
Yes.
You know what Super Saiyan God is.
I do, and my lips are sealed.
Yeah, go ahead and not talk about that. The rest of us,
I still have questions, but
okay. But what do we think is Super Saiyan God? Is it another person? Is it an actual god? Is it another form? Jaboukie, what do you think Super Saiyan God is?
Given the canon, that doesn't even make sense. You just pulled that out of your ass.
Yeah, we have so many gods all over.
The thing about this canon is it only shoots Gonzo out of it to the other side of the circus.